Jesus Manuel Menegarza. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. In this edition, I'm going to be talking about videography and how to improve your videography for your YouTube videos, or just for your, family videos, or for your clubs, etc., etc. How to improve the quality by the selection of certain types of equipment. And a lot of this equipment is going to be detailed in the description below, and I'll have links to them if you want to check them out. Okay. So first up, I'm going to give you a little bit of a history of myself, my background. I graduated university in journalism, and so I got a job in television broadcasting. I also got jobs in radio broadcasting. Also got jobs in marketing, etc., etc. So I have a lot of experience actually producing videos, radio, and different types of materials to promote a product or service. Okay. So in fact, one of my cups right here is from Pedernales Electric, where I worked in the, might as well get a drink while I'm at it. Where I worked in the marketing department, and they had a multi-million-dollar budget, even though they had a small staff. We spent millions of dollars every year marketing the cooperative by producing TV advertising, radio advertising, print advertising. The list goes on and on. And of course, I worked at radio, television, print, and all that sort of stuff. So let's talk about cameras that I suggest, that I recommend. First of all, I have 3 suggestions at this time. The first camera is a Panasonic Lumix GH6. It's a new camera. It just came out. It's the latest iteration of the GH series, and it's a very nice camera. One of the benefits of this camera is that it shoots 10-bit video as compared to 8-bit video. Means it has more range from the deepest black to the brightest white. An example where you would want to take advantage of that type of photography, if you're a wedding photographer, shooting some video of an event where the man is dressed in a black tux and a white shirt, and the bride, typically in American culture, is dressed in a white gown, okay? So sometimes the camera will say, oh, we're going to try to make that black a little grayer and that white a little grayer, and we're not going to, it's going to look a little funky. What a good camera does, it'll give it a little bit of detail in that white dress, give it a little bit of detail in that black suit, and it'll look fantastic because it has that range. It has the subtleties of the chrominance and luminance channels to create something that's of a high quality. I'm shooting this video with my G85. It's about a 5-year-old camera. It's only an 8-bit camera. It's not a 10-bit camera. Another benefit of an 10-bit camera is that you can shoot green screens more readily, and it sort of delineates because it has the ability to, take into consideration subtleties of tones and colors and areas of dark and light. Okay, so that's the benefit of a very nice camera. And I do recommend the latest iteration of the GH series, which is the GH6. It has mic inputs, has headphones inputs, has HDMI out. On the hot shoe, you can connect an adapter created by the folks at Panasonic, so you can put XLR professional microphones on there. And of course, the list goes on and on of the different lenses and accessories you can use with this very, very nice professional camera. Okay. Again, you can use it for your travel logs, for your YouTube videos in studio or around in the field, and also for event coverage and stuff like that. Very, very popular among folks that shoot events is the GH series of video cameras by the fine folks at Panasonic. I currently use quite a bit in the field. About 95% of my field videography is captured with a DJI Pocket 2. It's a camera that has a little bit of a gimbal on top and has a handle. It's part of a kit, and so it has the ability to stabilize the image as you're walking about. It's not going up and down, side to side, as you're just walking out. It keeps it relatively stable. Not perfectly stable, but relatively stable. And it's very compact. It's even with the handle and the head unit, I put it in my pocket in its case, and I have no problem. I just walk around. And when I see something interesting, I videotape it and capture it for my YouTube audience. So that's a very nice camera. The latest iteration has a bit bigger sensor and has more functionality. The number 3, numero tres, is coming out in about a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and it's supposed to even have more features. And for the YouTuber, I would really say if you have just a modest budget, a $500 budget, $600 budget, just get that, the professional combo kit, and that should be perfect for 95% of the stuff that you do. It's great for walking and talking videos if you're walking and talking about, and shooting landscapes and what you're doing out in the field. Okay, so you just hold it and just go, hey, that's me. And it's fantastic. Again, high quality color, very nice. It's only 8-bit. Maybe the next version, the next iteration, will have 10-bit color. I'm hoping also to not even have a modest little zoom, a little bit of wide, a little bit of telephoto, normal, maybe a 3-time zoom. I'm not talking about a 20-time zoom. I have one camera that I've used about 25 years ago. It had a 20-time zoom. A fantastic zoom. I wish I could just take that lens off and put it on some of my other cameras. But it's a 3-time zoom is perfectly fine. I would love that with a new Lumix. Not the Lumix. The DJI Pocket number 3, numero tres. Okay, so that's a nice camera. Of course, you're going to do something more action-oriented, and your camera might get a little bit dinged up or fall or something like that, go underwater and stuff like that. I would recommend the top-of-the-line, GoPro series or the DJI, action series. I would recommend those kinds of cameras. They also have some nice 360 cameras. You put them at the end of a pole, and you can edit them, and you can edit out the pole. It looks like you got somebody following you and videotaping you. Those are 360 cameras. Very nice. But I really suggest, if you want high quality action camera features, I would recommend getting the GoPro cameras. They have better sound and better video, in my humble opinion. But just a little bit better than what DJI and some of the other manufacturers offer. If you want a tripod, there's a whole range of tripods. I'm going to suggest one that's a little bit big and a little bit expensive. And it's by Manfrotto. It's a 504X head with the 536 legs, or some of the people use the vernacular of the industry, sticks. Okay, that's a bit big. It's something you pull out of your truck and maybe go to an event and shoot stuff, and you carry it around just in short distances. There are other options out there that are less expensive and that you can, go backpacking with, that are more compact, that fit in your backpack. This one's a bit larger and might not serve that function, but it's a high quality piece of kit, I think. Of course, you can buy a tripod with a standard head for about $200. It's pretty good. $300 is pretty good. Once you get a decent fluid head, it jumps up to $500, $600, $700 to get some nice combinations of fluid head. And what I mean by a video fluid head is that it actually moves in a fluid fashion. It doesn't go click, 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 click. And I see a lot of people who make a lot of money on YouTube have crappy tripods. It's not stopping them from making money, but I notice and I sort of go, oh, I guess the people are watching because that person has a fantastic personality. Something I got to work on, okay? So that's a carbon fiber tripod with a video fluid head. That's a Manfrotto 504X head with 536 sticks or legs, okay? Let's talk about microphones. I currently have in the studio, I'm using a little microphone. It's a Video Micro by the folks at Rode. It only cost me $60, $59 and change, and plus tax, of course. But it comes with a wind muff, and I put it on top of my camera when I'm in the field and I talk. It's a directional mic, and that works out perfectly for me. I also use it in the studio for when I'm doing, talking to my camera, Lumix G85. So that's a wire that goes about 6 inches, and then I have an extension cable that goes to my camera. It's very important when you're shooting video to get a good cable. If you don't get a good cable, that cable is going to introduce sound and pick up radio frequencies, and it's going to sound like crap. You can have a great camera, a great preamp, great microphone, but if that cable sucks, your video is going to what? It's going to suck the big one, okay? And you don't want it to suck that bad. You want it to be a high quality production, don't you? Don't you want a high quality production? So what I'd recommend to upgrade from this, if I had the budget right now, I would get something like the Video Mic NTG, also by Rode, that has a lot of functionality. It allows you to use it in the studio, on top of your camera, but also has a USB functionality where you can connect it to your computer if you want to do a voiceover or do some recording of your voice. So again, connect it to your computer via USB, connect it to your camera on top, no problems, and also in the studio, and it has a lot of functionality. Very nice. Similar unit would be the Deity VMic D3, also an excellent product. The Rode products are designed in Australia. The Deity products are designed in the United States. Both products are made where? Where are they made? They're made in China, okay? So if you want to be in the studio and you want a high quality look and also a high quality directional dynamic mic that picks up your voice, pretty nice, and doesn't blow the budget, I would recommend something like the Electro Voice. Let me see, it's a RE20, a very nice microphone. Again, it's a directional. Directional means that the mic is pointed towards you when you're talking and not. My current microphone that I have in my studio is a side address, not a front address, okay? So it's a very nice microphone. I see it used all the time on professional productions on the various networks like NFL and stuff like that when they do their programming, etc., etc. Very nice microphone. Again, that's the Electro Voice RE20, and they have different versions of it. They have some with different different structures, but that's the standard, okay? I like the one that's super shiny, though. Of course, if you have also a similar budget would be something like the Shure SM7. That's a very nice microphone. I see that a lot on YouTube and a lot of videos and a lot of studio interviews by these people that are on, I watch a lot of sports, like sports talk shows. They use that one quite a bit. Of course, you're not going to spend like I used to. When I used to work in radio, they had the budget, they had the money to buy something super nice. I'm not going to spend that kind of money, but if they want to spend that kind of money, that's their prerogative. They would spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on something like a Neumann or a Beyer mic, and I use those in the studio, and they make you sound awfully nice. They sound super sweet. They really capture your voice and the subtleties when you're talking. They sound very nice. This is a $59, $60 mic. It does okay. I have an untreated room. I do not have any, things on the wall to make it reduce the, the ambient sounds and, reflections of sounds. This one does okay. It's a directional mic. Picks up mostly me with a little bit of around me. But those Neumann mics in a treated studio, A+. And of course, the price is what? It's A+ also. Let's talk about editing software really quickly here. I really like my current software. It only costs $60. I went to the Best Buy one Christmas, a Christmas and a half ago or something like that. I think it was Christmas 2020, and I bought the software. It only cost $60. Can't complain about that. It works perfectly with my 10-year-old Dell XPS computer. Very nicely. I've upgraded my Dell with a solid-state drive, maxed out the RAM, updated the video card. The list goes on and on, trying to keep it up to date a little bit. I would like to get something new, but right now I have certain expenditures. My wife says, Jesus, don't spend that money today. Let's put it in the bank instead. So I'm gonna have to make do with what I have currently. It does okay, but I understand what is possible. If you're currently in the market, I could recommend certain things that would make your sound really fantastic, video-wise, audio-wise, okay? So if you want something free and you have a good computer, I'm talking about a really fast computer with excellent processors and CPUs and, etc., nice solid-state drive, I would recommend getting something like a DaVinci Resolve. That's free, absolutely free, no price, zero, nada. It's a version of their software that's usually used for independent videographers, people doing movies. They have the very nice version, but this one's super sweet anyway. It's very nice. It's very sophisticated, but takes a lot of processing power. And some of you have processing power. Some of you, sadly, don't. So you can put it on your computer, see if it actually works. If it's saying your computer's a little old, your computer's a little slow, it's not going to work. I apologize. Get something simpler like Cyberlink Power Director, which Jesus uses, okay? Of course, if you have a little bit of a budget, you can get a subscription to like Premiere Pro, or you can buy Final Cut Pro. Very nice. And when I do streaming, finally here, we're talking about streaming video, streaming your content, you can use OBS Studio. I've used OBS Studio, but I moved on to, and that's free by the way, I moved on to Streamlabs OBS, and I really, really liked it. I was doing quite a bit of streaming videos back in the 20s, but I don't do it anymore. During the start of the COVID pandemic, I don't do as much streaming as I should. Maybe I'll do some more in the future once I get my subscription level a little bit higher, and actually people will come in and say, Jesus, I have a question. So I hope you like my suggestions. My name is Jesus Manuel Menagarza. I have a very diverse background. I'm turning 70 this year. I used to work in radio, television, print, marketing, and I had a long and successful career in media. I am now retired and I have to spend my own money, and of course I'm a cheapskate. So maybe you're a cheapskate too. Maybe you have a lot of money. If you want to spend a lot of money, contact me. I'll be more than happy to recommend some significant products. Buy the latest top-of-the-line Sony 16-bit video camera. That's a good investment. How about the latest Airflix? Very nice. From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Menagarza. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. And let me have another beverage from my PEC Pedernales Electric Cup. Very nice. And please leave your kind and super friendly comments below, abajo. What do you think would be a better system for walking and talking videos or studio situations? Just leave your comments and professional opinions below. I would greatly appreciate it. From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Menagarza. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.